In the famous Metallica song, Fade to Black, we hear these words: "Life it seems will fade away, drifting further every day. Getting lost within myself, nothing matters, no one else. I have lost the will to live, simply nothing more to give. There's nothing more for me, need the end to set me free." So what's the philosophy of these lines? In these lines we see the philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche and what he argued. Nietzsche believed that God is merely an illusion about an absolute, an illusion created by the human mind. This illusion, he argued, must be shattered for the new age of Superman to dawn. We must deliberately destroy this illusion and the very idea of God. Then the world system of morality and the standards that rely on this idea for its existence will be destroyed. We see this in the song. Without the purpose of God, nothing has meaning. In a life without God, nothing matters. No one else. Life doesn't matter. And there's nothing but death to free me from this purposeless life. Without God, everything has no purpose. That is why God is necessary. We see that God is necessary and why he exists. Thomas Aquinas talked about this in his 5 proofs for God's existence. His first proof of God's existence was the proof of motion. This means that in order for something to move, something must put it into motion, and God does that in our universe. The second proof is efficient cause. This states that every effect must have an antecedent cause. That may sound like God himself would require a cause. However, an uncaused being violates no rule of reason, but an uncaused effect is completely irrational. Third proof was that of necessary being, which means that if anything exists now, then something must have the power of being within itself. That is, something must have necessary being. The fourth was the proof of the degrees of perfection, which says that in order for us to be able to acknowledge and see evil in the world around us, we have to have an image of what perfect is. And this perfection that we gauge all of the evil off of is God. The fifth proof comes from evidence of design in the universe. All this point boils down to is the fact that the demand that we see in the universe demands a designer. So if we believe these 5 proofs, then we live a purposeful life because God gives us purpose, a higher standard of morals to live up to rather than having absolutely no purpose. Ravi Zacharias summed up this statement well when he said, "If we are totally here with no provision, totally an accident, then why are you looking for design? Why are you looking for purpose? Why do you talk about values? None of these are self-evident. They are the existential longing of your heart that life must make sense. That can only come if life itself has a designer behind it all that causes you to hunger after what that design is all about." So the answer to the empty life we see in the song Fade into the Black by Metallica is just God as the designer that gives us purpose in our life.